Rick, I was trying to think of when I saw something like what we saw here on Saturday against Wake Forest, and I thought back to the Florida State game in 2016. Uh, just the feeding frenzy and the onslaught that happened as what happened here Saturday with 5 consecutive turnovers, 6 in all in the third quarter. They scored 35 points. I believe I heard they have not scored that many points in a quarter in over 100 years. And they beat Wake Forest 48-21, the final, number 10 ranked Wake Forest.
Yeah, I mean, what makes you scratch your head and blink your eyes and wonder what's going on here is that was Sam Hartman, who was Wake Forest quarterback. He's a fifth-year senior. A lot of people think his touchdown to interception ratio coming into the game was 21 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. They intercepted him 3 times in the quarter. I mean, that's ridiculous. But, you know, once they started getting the turnovers, for me it was like after the third or fourth one, you started thinking they're going to get another one, and they did. Right. I've never seen anything like it. It was fun, and Scott Satterfield made a great point after the game. They had 8 sacks by 8 different people. It wasn't all Yasir Abdullah or Yahya Diaby. It was the entire defense.
Yeah, and there was a punt in there in the third quarter as well.
I forgot about the punt.
There was 5 possessions by Wake Forest, 5 consecutive turnovers, then a punt, and then the 6th turnover capped off the quarter, which was perfect, a 90-yard interception return for a touchdown. And yeah, the place was going crazy. It was just kind of nuts.
From a defense where everybody wanted the defensive coordinator fired a month ago, right?
Right.
Because they couldn't stop Boston College, which lost to UConn on Saturday.
Scored like 3 points against UConn.
What a crazy season. We all looked at
Yeah.
the Louisville season this year and said, they got to make it happen the first 6 games. They got to make it happen the first 6 games. The back half of the schedule is backbreaking. Well, they went 3-3 in the first 6 games. And a lot of people think that there was no way they're going to become bowl eligible. Now they shut down Pitt, the defending ACC champion, and they just dominated Wake Forest, which was the other team in the ACC championship game last year. Nobody thought that was going to happen.
No, and now they're 5-3. They've won 3 straight ACC games. They hadn't done that since 2016, that Florida State year. And there is momentum. There are still obviously tough games to play. They got James Madison coming in next Saturday. That is followed by Clemson on the road, NC State here, and then at Kentucky. So certainly nothing easy to come, but a team that has a lot more going for it than it did a month ago.
Absolutely. They got positivity around them. The next step is to get more people in the stadium. They only had 39,000 people here on Saturday, which was the smallest crowd of the year. They missed quite a show. They should have been out here to watch that if they love college football. But you could feel the fans getting back behind the team in the fourth quarter when they saw what they saw. It was natural. You heard more of the CARDS cheer, and you could hear people standing and roaring, and the vibe was definitely different in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, first game I've been able to get to in person this year, and it was pretty fun. It felt like some of those Lamar years, really.
Yeah, I mean, sports is more fun when you see unexpected things. I think a lot of people thought Louisville had a chance to win the game. I mean, they started out the week as a 5.5-point underdog, and the Sharpies in Vegas bet it down to 3.5, so they thought Louisville had a chance. But to see 48-21 and a total mismatch in the second half, nobody thought it. And Louisville now getting healthier. Malik Cunningham played better, made better decisions. Tyon Evans, we forget about him. Yeah. He almost had 100 yards in the first half. Had a great touchdown run. So performance like that is overlooked by the defense. Got James Madison at home. They're a 5-2 team that beat App State. Then they go to Clemson, which they've never, I think they're the only team in the division they haven't beaten in the ACC.
Yeah.
And then NC State comes here. I don't know about if you watched NC State the other night. They struggled at home, and their quarterback's out, Devin Leary. They did finally pull it off against Virginia Tech, but that now looks like a winnable game. And then comes the rivalry game against Kentucky, which we know that the Wildcats have dominated the last 3 times they played.
Still plenty to look forward to. James Madison here next Saturday. He's Rick. I'm Tom. Let's talk to you soon.